All right, so what is an IDE? Well, IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment, and it's essentially a program that you use to write code plus more. Some of the features that you're going to find in a basic IDE go beyond just a text editor and include code highlighting, code completion, code lookup, managing your source code using Git, building binaries, and also debugging. Now, while I personally love using an IDE and I personally use VS Code for writing any of my code, some people choose to use a more basic tool called a text editor. So what is the difference between a text editor and an IDE? If you'd like more short videos on tech lingo, like and subscribe. There's more on the way each week. If you want to keep up on the latest in tech and development related news, subscribe to the Weekly Cloud, my weekly email newsletter where I sift through the internet so you don't have to. Link in the description below. In general, a text editor is going to give you some basic features. It lets you write code. It might do highlighting if it understands the syntax of the code, and that is generally all it's going to offer. An IDE goes way beyond that, using all of the other features that I listed before, and they generally are a more full-featured application designed specifically for writing code and oftentimes specifically for one language. Now, like I mentioned, I use VS Code, and VS Code is designed to work with a bunch of different languages using their plugin system, where you can go and install different plugin packs to give it support for additional languages. But some of the other ones are, and excuse me while I look at my computer, there's the Eclipse IDE, which is built for Java. There are a number of different IDEs built by JetBrains, for example, IntelliJ, which is also for Java, PyCharm for Python, PHP Storm for PHP, WebStorm for JavaScript, and there are others. There's Xcode, which is obviously for making Mac apps and iPhone apps, and then there's Komodo, which is another IDE, which is a fully featured IDE as well. Now, how do you go about choosing an IDE that you like? My advice here is to start with one that is free, because otherwise you're going to end up paying a bunch of money and you may not like the application. Now, you can get free trials of these and you can definitely try them out to figure out which one suits you best, but this is very much a personal preference. So what I would recommend is, if you're looking to start, just go with VS Code, because a lot of people use it now and it's fairly easy to use, and you can find a ton of tutorials on how to install things. If you find that VS Code isn't your thing, or maybe you just don't like Microsoft, which is totally fine, then the JetBrains suite is nice. They have all these different IDEs that are designed for different languages. One of the disadvantages of that is that you do have to pay for each one of them individually or buy a package license, which is kind of expensive. All right, that's all I have on IDEs for today. So until next time, happy coding.